Hi everyone, I just wanted to go over a nooking in the round tip for anyone that is nooking. This works well when you have a lot of stitches. So this is not a lot, but it's enough that this technique works. So basically what you want to do is you want to keep the end of the string short so that it's not getting in the way of your nook. So you can figure that out as short as you want, that you're comfortable with. I'm pretty comfortable with it being this short. And then as you can see, I only have a couple of live stitches on my hook, and I like to keep my hook, at least the head of the hook, really close to the live stitches that I'm going to work on. So I'm actually using the Iponbari Japanese style, where I'm inserting the hook from right to left and then yarning over. So I'll show you what I mean about this technique. So typically with the Knook, when you work your live stitches, depending on the length of your hook, you can only go so far with how many stitches are going to end up on your hook before you have to pull out the entire hook and just release it from those stitches. What I mean is, like, for example, here, as you can see, all my stitches are on top of the hook already, and it's going to be challenging to get more stitches into the body of the hook. And so what I'll do is I'll try to keep adding stitches until I can no longer add, and you can tell. So as you can see, that's it. That's how many stitches I can put on my hook. And so what I do is I hold the working yarn down so that my stitches are not going to come off the hook. I'm going to remove the string that was previously on the previous row stitches, and so it's pretty long. And so what I do is I actually take the other side of the string closer to the eye of the Knook, and I pull it out just to make my end of the string shorter. I like to keep it short just so that it's not like messing with my working yarn. Okay, so the typical Knook in the round, you remove the Knook, and then to remove it, that means you're going to release all of the stitches. I do not like to do that because then my stitches become inconsistent with the next stitch. So what I do, again, I like to hold my working yarn and I push all of the stitches off the end of the hook or Knook, whatever you want to call it. I leave some stitches in there, 2 or 3, just depends, whatever you're comfortable with, just enough. And then what I do is I release the string at nearest the eye. This is called the eye in Japanese. In Japan they call this the eye. I guess in the US we'll just call it the hole. Okay, so as you can see, my item here is nothing seems flimsy, right? Because that is the complaint of nooking, is that everything gets really flimsy. So what I did is, you know, I didn't have to pull this Knook out the entire Knook out, and I could just go on and knit around. I just do this because I feel a little bit more confident with that stitch right after I stopped, you know, because if you pull it out, it becomes, you know, a little bit inconsistent with the stitches. I mean, with knitting, it takes a lot of practice. You'll develop your own techniques that is easier for you. I tend to use my nails to push the Knook into the live stitches. That's just a habit of mine. I actually keep my finger, my index finger, on top of the head of the hook so that I can keep the yarn in place. So that helps with the size of the stitches. So as you can see, I don't have, like, it's really hard for me to make stitches because all of these stitches here are on the body of the hook, and it's preventing this hook from moving to the stitches. Okay, I hope this technique helps. You'll eventually get used to it. After so many tries, you will need to practice your stitches. Eventually you'll get better. Just have a little bit of patience with knitting. So I've been knitting since 2012, so it's been a long time, 13 years. And so I've developed some techniques for myself that works for me. And so this is one of those that I developed for myself because it's easier than pulling the entire hook. So what I mean by that is like the typical Knook way when you're in the round and you have too many stitches already on the body of the hook, you just pull it out like this. And so there's like a lot of yarn on this side. It gets tangled. I mean, if you're comfortable that way, that's fine too. So what I tend to do if I pull out my hook is that the next stitch I have to go like this, kind of twist and grab just to keep that stitch tight enough within the last stitch. Hope this has helped with knitting in the round. I'll talk to you guys next time for another knitting tips.